gentlemen, seekers of truth and voyagers of the soul, I invite you to embark with me on an exploration of a most intriguing paradox of human nature. We shall delve into the depths of the psyche to understand why, at the precise moment one garners strength and fortitude, betrayal often rears its enigmatic head. This discourse is inspired by the timeless wisdom of archetypes, the shadow, and the rich symbolism of the unconscious mind, a realm that has fascinated humanity since time immemorial. In the annals of history and the intimate chapters of personal narratives, there exists a recurrent theme, the betrayal of those who rise to power or attain a measure of inner strength. This phenomenon is not merely a social or political occurrence, but a profound psychological reality that echoes within the corridors of the collective unconscious. To comprehend this, we must first understand the nature of strength itself. Strength, in its truest form, is not merely physical prowess or the accumulation of external accolades, but rather an inner fortitude, a harmony of the conscious and unconscious mind. It is the alignment of the ego with the deeper, often hidden aspects of the self. As one journeys towards this inner alignment, they inevitably draw upon the archetypes that reside within. These are the primordial images, the inherited potentials that shape our perceptions and actions. When an individual taps into these archetypes, be it the hero, the wise old man, or the great mother, they awaken a force that transcends the mundane, yet in doing so, they also disturb the equilibrium of the surrounding psychic environment. This disturbance is akin to a ripple in a still lake, and it is this ripple that often provokes the reaction of betrayal. But why, you may ask? Does the achievement of strength incite betrayal? Here, we must consider the shadow, the hidden, repressed parts of the self that are disowned by the conscious mind. When one becomes strong, the light of their consciousness illuminates not only their own shadow, but also the shadows of those around them. This illumination is both a gift and a threat. It compels others to confront their own inadequacies, their own unacknowledged darkness. The presence of strength in another can act as a mirror, reflecting back the shadow elements that lie dormant within the observer. The reaction to this reflection can be one of admiration or resentment. It is often the latter that breeds betrayal. For those who are unprepared to face their own shadows, the presence of another's strength becomes a source of envy and fear. They may project their own insecurities and unresolved conflicts onto the individual who has shown them this reflection. Betrayal then becomes an unconscious mechanism to restore the balance within their own psyche by undermining the source of their discomfort. Furthermore, so the archetype of betrayal itself is deeply ingrained in the human psyche. It is a motif that recurs throughout mythology, literature, and history, from the betrayal of Prometheus by Zeus to the treachery of Judas Iscariot. These stories serve as symbolic representations of the inevitable conflict between the individual and the collective. When one stands apart, embodying a strength that challenges the status quo, they inevitably evoke the archetypal response of betrayal. This is not merely a personal affront, but a reflection of the eternal struggle between individuality and conformity. As we journey deeper into this exploration, let us consider the role of dreams, those nightly visitations from the unconscious that often harbor the seeds of insight and understanding. dreams in their symbolic language can offer us a window into the hidden dynamics of betrayal in dreams. We may encounter figures who embody both our aspirations and our fears, reflecting the dual nature of strength as both a beacon of hope and a harbinger of isolation. The dream world, rich with symbolism, allows us to witness the unfolding drama of our inner conflicts and the archetypal forces at play. In interpreting Such dreams, we must pay attention to the symbols and motifs that arise. A fortress may symbolize the strength one has built, yet it may also signify the isolation that such strength can bring. The serpent, a universal symbol of transformation and danger, may represent the betrayal that lurks in the shadows of one's ascent. These symbols call us to engage with the unconscious, to dialogue with the parts of ourselves that remain hidden, and to understand the lessons they impart. In addressing the psychological and symbolic dimensions of betrayal, we must also consider the potential for transformation that lies within it. Betrayal, painful as it may be, can serve as a catalyst for profound personal growth. When confronted with betrayal, we are forced to confront our own vulnerabilities and the illusions we may have held about ourselves and others. This confrontation can lead to a deeper understanding of the self and a more authentic alignment with one's true purpose. The alchemical process of individuation, which I have often spoken of, is the journey towards wholeness. It is the integration of the conscious and unconscious, the reconciliation of opposites within the self. Betrayal, in its capacity to shatter the ego's illusions, can be a crucial step in this process. It challenges us to transcend the limitations of the ego and to embrace the fullness of our being. In doing so, we move closer to the realization of the self, the totality of the psyche. As we near the conclusion of this initial exploration, let us not forget the role of the community, the collective psyche, in the dynamics of betrayal. We are not isolated beings, but part of a larger tapestry of human experience. The strength of one individual can inspire and uplift the collective, but it can also provoke resistance and fear. It is within this tension that the dance of betrayal and strength unfolds. To navigate this dance, we must cultivate an awareness of our interconnectedness and the impact of our actions on the whole. In closing, I invite you to reflect upon the themes we have explored, the archetypal nature of strength and betrayal, the shadow and its projections, the symbolism of dreams, and the transformative potential of facing one's inner darkness. As we continue this journey into the depths of the psyche, let us remain open to the insights that emerge from the unconscious and the wisdom that resides within each of us. The path of self-discovery is not without its challenges, but it is through these challenges that we find the opportunity to grow and evolve. As we move forward, may we embrace the lessons of betrayal as guiding lights on the path to individuation. And may we find the courage to confront our own shadows with compassion and understanding. Let us now continue our exploration, for there is much more to discover in the rich and mysterious landscape of the human psyche. As we delve deeper into the psyche's labyrinthine corridors, we must further examine the intricate dance between power and vulnerability, for it is within this interplay that the seeds of betrayal often germinate the attainment of strength. whether it be an internal fortitude or an external manifestation of power, inevitably alters the dynamics of one's relationships. This alteration is not merely a superficial shift, but a profound reconfiguration of psychic energies. In understanding this dynamic, we are compelled to explore the archetype of the hero, that universal symbol of courage, transformation, and triumph over adversity. The hero's journey, as it unfolds within the psyche, is a narrative of self-discovery and empowerment. Yet, the hero does not emerge unscathed. Alongside this archetypal ascent, there lies the ever-present shadow, a reminder of the cost of transcendence and the fragility of human nature. The hero, in his or her quest, encounters various trials and tribulations, each a metaphor for the internal struggles faced by the individual. These challenges do not merely test the hero's resolve, but serve as opportunities for the revelation of deeper truths. As the hero grows stronger and more self-aware, the shadow aspects of the self, previously dormant, are activated. It is in this activation that the specter of betrayal often looms. Betrayal, when viewed through the lens of the hero's journey, is not merely an external event, but an internal confrontation. It is the manifestation of unresolved conflicts and the surfacing of repressed emotions. The betrayal one experiences from others is frequently a reflection of the betrayal of one's own self, an abandonment of inner truths and authentic desires. Hence, the external act of betrayal is mirrored by an internal crisis, a dissonance between the ego and the deeper self. To navigate this complex terrain, we must engage with the archetype of the shadow, that repository of all that is hidden and disowned. The shadow is not inherently malevolent, but rather a container for the parts of ourselves we have yet to integrate. It is composed of both personal shadows, those aspects unique to our individual experiences, and the collective shadow, which encompasses the dark undercurrents of humanity's shared unconscious. The process of engaging with the shadow requires a willingness to confront the discomfort of our own inadequacies and fears. It demands an openness to the possibility that the source of betrayal lies not only in others, but within ourselves. In this encounter, we are called to embrace the paradox of human nature, the coexistence of light and darkness, strength and vulnerability. This duality is beautifully encapsulated in the symbol of the Ouroboros. The serpent that consumes its own tail. The Ouroboros is an emblem of the cyclical nature of life, the eternal return, and the unity of opposites. It represents the transformative potential inherent in the reconciliation of contradictions. When we are betrayed, the Ouroboros reminds us that we are both the betrayer and the betrayed. And in acknowledging this, we move towards a more integrated self. The journey towards integration is not a solitary endeavor, but one that unfolds within the context of relationships and community. The people we encounter on our path serve as mirrors, reflecting back the parts of ourselves we may not yet fully recognize. Through these interactions, we are given the opportunity to see beyond the projections of our own shadow and to engage with the shadows of others. In the crucible of relationships, the dynamics of power and betrayal play out in myriad ways. The strength of one individual can illuminate the shadows of another, prompting either a response of growth or resistance, it is in the space between these responses that the potential for healing and transformation resides. By cultivating an awareness of our interconnectedness, we begin to transcend the illusion of separation and embrace the wholeness of the human experience. As we reflect on these themes, let us consider the role of symbolism and myth in guiding us through the complexities of betrayal. Myths, those ancient stories that speak to the deepest layers of the unconscious, offer us a map for navigating the terrain of the soul. They provide us with archetypal images and narratives that illuminate the path to self-discovery and integration. Consider the myth of the phoenix, that magnificent bird that rises from its own ashes. The phoenix symbolizes rebirth and renewal, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. In the face of betrayal, the phoenix offers us a vision of hope and transformation. It reminds us that from the ashes of our suffering, new life can emerge. And with it, a deeper understanding of our true nature. This mythic perspective invites us to reframe betrayal, not as an end, but as a beginning, a catalyst for the alchemical process of personal growth. Just as the phoenix must undergo the fiery trial of destruction to be reborn, we too must confront the flames of our own challenges to emerge renewed. In this renewal, we are called to cultivate empathy and compassion, both for ourselves and for those who have betrayed us. By embracing the shadow, we recognize the humanity in our own failings and in the failings of others. This recognition fosters a sense of unity, a reminder that we are all participants in the grand narrative of existence. As we continue our journey through the psyche, let us be mindful of the lessons that betrayal offers. It is a guide, a teacher, and a companion on the path to individuation. By embracing its challenges, we unlock the potential for profound transformation and move closer to the realization of our authentic selves. In the spirit of exploration and growth, I invite you to reflect on your own experiences of strength and betrayal. Consider the ways in which these experiences have shaped your understanding of self and other. Engage with the symbols and myths that resonate with your journey, allowing them to illuminate the path ahead. As we venture further into the depths of the unconscious, let us remain open to the insights that emerge and the wisdom that resides within. The journey is long and the terrain is vast, but it is through this exploration that we find the seeds of our own becoming. Let us now continue, for there is much more to uncover in the rich tapestry of the soul. As we continue our deep dive into the shadows of the psyche, let us turn our attention to the complex interplay between the conscious and unconscious realms, a dance that is at the heart of human experience and the source of much of our inner conflict. The unconscious, that vast and mysterious domain, holds within it the seeds of both our greatest potential and our deepest fears. It is a repository of forgotten memories, repressed desires, and the archetypal forces that shape our lives. The conscious mind, with its focus on rationality and order, often seeks to suppress the chaotic energies of the unconscious. Yet, in doing so, it can inadvertently sow the seeds of betrayal within the self. This internal betrayal manifests when we deny the truths that the unconscious seeks to reveal when we ignore the whispers of intuition and the insights of dreams. Such denial creates a rift within the psyche, a dissonance that can lead to feelings of alienation and self-sabotage. To heal this rift, we must cultivate a dialogue between the conscious and unconscious. This dialogue is not a simple conversation, but a profound engagement with the symbolic language of the unconscious, a language that speaks in images, metaphors, and dreams. Through this engagement, we can begin to integrate the disparate parts of the self and move towards a more holistic understanding of our nature. Dreams, in particular, offer a rich tapestry of symbols and narratives that guide us on this journey of integration. They are the nightly emissaries of the unconscious, bearing messages from the depths of the psyche. In dreams, we may encounter figures that embody our unresolved conflicts, our unacknowledged desires, and our hidden strength. These figures often appear in the guise of archetypes, those universal symbols that resonate across cultures and time. Consider, for example, the archetype of the trickster, a figure that embodies the dual nature of creation and destruction, chaos and order. The trickster appears in dreams and myths as a catalyst for change, a force that disrupts the status quo and challenges the rigidity of the ego. In the context of betrayal, the trickster may manifest as the unexpected turn of events, the unforeseen betrayal that forces us to confront our own vulnerabilities. Yet the trickster is not purely malevolent. In its mercurial nature lies the potential for transformation. The chaos it introduces can lead to creative solutions and new perspectives. By embracing the trickster within, we learn to navigate the uncertainties of life with flexibility and resilience. We begin to see betrayal not as a finality, but as an opportunity for growth and renewal. In this exploration, we must also consider the role of the anima and animus for those inner counterparts that represent the feminine and masculine aspects of the psyche. These archetypes hold the key to understanding the dynamics of our relationships and the projections that often lead to betrayal. The anima and animus are bridge builders, connecting the conscious ego with the depths of the unconscious. They are the mediators of our inner dialogue, guiding us towards balance and integration. When we project our anima or animus onto others, we risk creating unrealistic expectations and dependencies. These projections can lead to disillusionment and betrayal when the external object of our projection fails to live up to the idealized image we have created. To reclaim these projections, we must turn inward, recognizing the qualities of the anima and animus within ourselves. This inward journey allows us to form relationships based on authenticity and mutual understanding rather than illusion and fantasy. As we navigate the intricate web of projections and archetypes, we encounter the concept of the self, the central archetype that represents the totality of the psyche. The self is the unifying force that reconciles the opposites within us, the guiding star that leads us towards individuation. In the face of betrayal, the self serves as a compass, helping us to find our way back to wholeness. The journey towards the self is not without its challenges. It requires a willingness to confront the shadow, to embrace the parts of ourselves we have long denied. It demands courage and vulnerability, a readiness to face the unknown and to trust in the process of transformation. Yet, it is through this journey that we discover the true strength of the human spirit, a strength that is rooted not in domination or control, but in compassion and understanding. In the context of betrayal, the quest for the self invites us to look beyond the immediate pain and to seek the deeper truths that lie beneath the surface. It encourages us to explore the underlying patterns and dynamics that have led to the current crisis, to understand the lessons that betrayal has to offer. By doing so, we begin to transform our wounds into sources of wisdom, our struggles into stepping stones towards growth. As we reflect on these themes, let us remember that the journey towards wholeness is a lifelong endeavor. It is a path that requires patience and perseverance, a willingness to engage with the complexity of the human experience. In this journey, we are called to embrace both the light and the darkness within us, to recognize the interconnectedness of all things, and to honor the sacredness of the soul. In closing, I invite you to continue this exploration in your own lives. Engage with the symbols and archetypes that resonate with your personal journey. Reflect on your dreams and the messages they bring. Seek out the wisdom of the unconscious and allow it to guide you towards a deeper understanding of yourself and your place in the world. As you do so, may you find the courage to embrace the challenges of betrayal and the strength to transform them into opportunities for growth. May you discover the beauty and complexity of your own psyche, and may you walk the path of individuation with grace and humility. Let us now continue our exploration, for the mysteries of the soul are infinite, and the journey is ever unfolding as we traverse further into the depths of the psyche. Let us consider the profound impact of the collective unconscious on our experiences of strength and betrayal. The collective unconscious, that vast reservoir of ancestral memory and shared human experience, exerts a powerful influence over our thoughts, emotions, and actions. It is a repository of archetypes and symbols that transcend individual experience, connecting us to the universal patterns of human existence. Within the collective unconscious reside the primordial images that shape our perceptions and behaviors. These archetypes, such as the hero, the shadow, and the trickster, are not merely passive symbols, but active forces that influence our lives in profound ways. They are the threads that weave the fabric of our personal narratives, guiding us through the complexities of our inner and outer worlds. In the context of strength and betrayal, the collective unconscious plays a crucial role in shaping our responses and reactions. The archetype of the hero, for instance, embodies the quest for self-discovery and empowerment. It is a symbol of the individual's journey towards wholeness, a journey that is fraught with challenges and trials. As we embrace the hero within, we are called to confront the obstacles that stand in our way, to face the betrayals that test our resolve, and to rise above the limitations of the ego. Yet, the hero's journey is not a solitary endeavor. It is a journey that takes place within the context of the collective and it is influenced by the dynamics of the social and cultural environment. The collective unconscious shapes the narratives that define our identities, the myths and stories that inform our understanding of self and other. It is within this collective framework that the dynamics of betrayal unfold as individuals navigate the tensions between personal growth and social conformity. The archetype of the shadow too plays a significant role in the dynamics of betrayal. The shadow represents the hidden, repressed aspects of the self that are often projected onto others. When we encounter betrayal, it is often a manifestation of these shadow projections, an externalization of our own disowned parts. The shadow elements that we deny within ourselves are mirrored back to us through our interactions with others, prompting us to confront the aspects of ourselves that we have long avoided. The process of integrating the shadow requires a willingness to engage with the darker aspects of the psyche, to acknowledge the parts of ourselves that we have rejected or disowned. It is a process of self-examination and reflection, a journey towards greater self-awareness and understanding. By embracing the shadow, we begin to dissolve the barriers that separate us from our true selves, allowing us to move towards integration and wholeness. In this journey towards integration, the role of dreams and symbols cannot be overstated. Dreams, those nightly voyages into the unconscious, offer us glimpses into the hidden dynamics of our inner world. They provide us with symbolic representations of our unresolved conflicts and unacknowledged desires, inviting us to engage with the deeper layers of the psyche. The symbols that appear in dreams are not arbitrary, but are deeply connected to the archetypal patterns of the collective unconscious. They are the language of the soul, communicating messages that the conscious mind may not yet be ready to acknowledge. By engaging with these symbols, we open ourselves to the wisdom of the unconscious, allowing it to guide us towards a deeper understanding of ourselves and our experiences. Consider, for example, the symbol of the labyrinth, a recurring motif in mythology and dreams. The labyrinth represents the journey of self-discovery, the winding path that leads us to the center of our being. It is a symbol of the complexities and challenges of the inner journey, a reminder that the path to self-awareness is not a straight line, but a spiral that takes us deeper into the mysteries of the soul. As we navigate the labyrinth of the psyche, we encounter both allies and adversaries, guides and tempters. These figures are not merely external entities, but representations of the archetypal forces within us. They are the manifestations of the hero and the shadow, the anima and animus, the self and the trickster. Each encounter offers us an opportunity for growth and transformation, a chance to integrate the disparate parts of ourselves and move towards wholeness. In the face of betrayal, the labyrinth offers us a path to healing and renewal. It invites us to confront the betrayals we have experienced, both from others and from within ourselves, and to seek the deeper truths that lie beneath the surface. By embracing the challenges of the labyrinth, we open ourselves to the possibility of transformation, allowing us to emerge from the darkness into the light of understanding and wisdom. As we reflect on these themes, let us remember that the journey towards individuation is a lifelong endeavor. It is a path that requires courage and vulnerability, a willingness to engage with the complexities of the human experience. By embracing the archetypes and symbols that guide us, we move towards a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. In closing, I invite you to continue this exploration in your own lives. Reflect on the symbols and archetypes that resonate with your personal journey. Engage with your dreams and the messages they bring. Seek out the wisdom of the unconscious and allow it to guide you towards a deeper understanding of yourself and your experiences. As you do so, may you find the courage to embrace the challenges of betrayal and the strength to transform them into opportunities for growth. May you discover the beauty and complexity of your own psyche, and may you walk the path of individuation with grace and humility. Let us now continue our exploration, for the mysteries of the soul are infinite, and the journey is ever unfolding. As we continue our exploration of the psyche's intricacies, let us delve into the transformative power of suffering and the role it plays in the journey towards self-realization. Suffering, much like betrayal, is often perceived as a negative experience, something to be avoided or minimized. Yet, within the depths of suffering lies a profound potential for growth and enlightenment. It is through the crucible of suffering that the soul is refined, revealing the hidden treasures of the unconscious. To understand the transformative nature of suffering, we must first acknowledge its inevitability. Suffering is an inescapable aspect of the human condition, woven into the fabric of existence. It is encountered in various forms: loss, disappointment, betrayal, and the myriad challenges that life presents. However, the way we engage with our suffering can make all the difference in our journey towards individuation. The act of confronting suffering requires courage and honesty. It demands that we face the shadowy corners of our psyche, those areas we would rather avoid. Yet, in doing so, we initiate a dialogue with the unconscious, inviting it to reveal its secrets. This dialogue is not a mere intellectual exercise, but an experiential process, one that requires us to feel deeply, to engage with our emotions fully. In this engagement, we encounter the archetype of the wounded healer, a symbol that embodies the paradoxical nature of suffering as both the source of pain and the catalyst for healing. The wounded healer teaches us that our wounds, when acknowledged and embraced, can become sources of wisdom and compassion through our own suffering. We develop empathy for the suffering of others, and in this empathy we find the seeds of healing. The myth of Chiron, the wise centaur who was wounded yet became a great healer, illustrates this archetype beautifully. Chiron's story reminds us that our deepest wounds can become the foundation of our greatest strengths. By embracing the wounded healer within, we transform our suffering into a path of service and understanding, contributing to the healing of the collective. The process of transforming suffering into wisdom is akin to the alchemical journey of turning lead into gold. It requires patience, perseverance, and a willingness to endure the heat of transformation. This alchemical process is mirrored in the psyche as we move through the stages of dissolution, purification, and integration. Each stage brings us closer to the realization of the self, the ultimate goal of individuation. Dissolution is the phase where we confront the chaos of our inner world, allowing the structures of the ego to dissolve. It is a time of uncertainty and vulnerability, yet it is also a necessary step towards renewal. In dissolution, we release our attachments to the illusions and defenses that have kept us from our true selves. Purification follows, a phase of cleansing and refinement. Here, we sift through the debris of our past, discerning what is essential and what must be discarded. It is a time of introspection and discernment where we clarify our values and intentions. Through purification, we align with our authentic self, shedding the layers of conditioning that have obscured our true nature. Finally, we arrive at integration, the phase where the disparate parts of the self are united into a cohesive whole. In integration, we reconcile the opposites within us, embracing both light and shadow, strength and vulnerability. This unity is not a static state, but a dynamic process, one that requires ongoing attention and care. Throughout this alchemical journey, the role of imagination and creativity cannot be overstated. The imagination is a bridge between the conscious and unconscious, a vehicle for exploring the depths of the psyche. Through creative expression, whether it be art, writing, music, or dance, we give voice to the unconscious, allowing it to communicate its truth. Engaging with the creative process invites us to explore the symbolic language of the unconscious, to play with images and ideas that defy logical explanation. It encourages us to step beyond the confines of the rational mind and into the realm of possibility and wonder. In doing so, we open ourselves to the transformative power of imagination, allowing it to guide us towards new insights and perspectives. As we reflect on the themes of suffering and transformation, let us consider the role of community in this journey. While the path of individuation is ultimately an individual endeavor, it is one that unfolds within the context of relationships and community. Our interactions with others serve as mirrors, reflecting back the parts of ourselves that require attention and integration. In community, we find support and guidance, a shared space for exploration and growth. By engaging with others on a similar path, we gain new insights and perspectives, enriching our understanding of the self. The community becomes a container for the alchemical process, holding the space for transformation and healing. In closing, I invite you to continue this exploration in your own lives. Reflect on the ways in which suffering has shaped your journey and the insights it has revealed. Engage with your imagination, allowing it to lead you into the depths of the unconscious. Seek out the wisdom of the wounded healer within and embrace the transformative potential of your own wounds. As you do so, may you find the courage to navigate the challenges of the inner journey and the strength to transform suffering into wisdom. May you discover the beauty and complexity of your own psyche, And may you walk the path of individuation with grace and humility. Let us now continue our exploration, for the mysteries of the soul are infinite, and the journey is ever unfolding. As we journey further into the intricate realms of the psyche, let us turn our gaze to the concept of the self. The central archetype in Jungian psychology that represents the totality of the psyche. The self is both the beginning and the end of the individuation process, the ultimate goal towards which all psychic development is directed. It encompasses the conscious and unconscious, the personal and collective, embodying the wholeness of the human experience. The path to realizing the self is not a linear one, but an unfolding spiral, a journey that requires us to continually revisit and integrate the various aspects of our being. This path is illuminated by the guiding light of the unconscious, which communicates through dreams, symbols, and synchronicities. These messages from the unconscious serve as signposts along the way, offering guidance and insight as we navigate the complexities of the inner world. The self is often symbolized by the mandala, a circular figure that represents wholeness, balance, and harmony. The mandala is a visual representation of the self, depicting the integration of opposites and the unity of the psyche. In many spiritual traditions, the mandala is used as a tool for meditation and contemplation, inviting the practitioner to engage with the deeper layers of consciousness. As we contemplate the mandala, we are reminded of the interconnectedness of all things, the intricate web of relationships that bind us to the universe. This sense of interconnectedness is a fundamental aspect of the self, which transcends the individual ego and embraces the collective. In realizing the self, we come to understand that we are not isolated beings, but part of a larger whole, participants in the cosmic dance of creation. The journey towards the self is also a journey towards authenticity, a process of shedding the masks and defenses that have obscured our true nature. It requires us to confront the illusions and false identities that we have constructed in response to societal expectations and conditioning. This process of deconstruction is not without its challenges, as it demands that we confront the uncomfortable truths about ourselves and the world. Yet, in this confrontation, we find liberation by embracing our authentic selves. We free ourselves from the constraints of the ego and open ourselves to the expansive possibilities of the self. This authenticity is not a static state, but a dynamic process, one that requires ongoing reflection and engagement with the unconscious. It is a continuous unfolding, a deepening of our understanding of who we are and our place in the world. As we move towards the realization of the self, we also encounter the concept of the transcendent function, a key element in Jungian psychology. The transcendent function is the process by which the opposites within the psyche are reconciled, leading to a new level of consciousness. It is the mechanism that facilitates the integration of the conscious and unconscious, allowing for the emergence of new insights and perspectives. The transcendent function is activated through the engagement with the symbols and images of the unconscious, particularly those that arise in dreams and creative expression. By engaging with these symbols, we facilitate the dialogue between the conscious and unconscious. allowing for the resolution of inner conflicts and the emergence of a more integrated self. This process is not without its difficulties, as it requires us to hold the tension of opposites, to endure the discomfort of ambiguity and uncertainty. Yet, it is through this tension that the potential for transformation is realized. The transcendent function invites us to embrace the paradoxes of the psyche, to recognize that our greatest strengths often lie within our greatest weaknesses, and that the path to wholeness is found in the reconciliation of opposites in this journey towards the self. We are also called to engage with the archetype of the wise old man or wise old woman, symbols of wisdom and guidance. These figures represent the sage within, the inner source of knowledge and insight that guides us on our path. They are the embodiment of the accumulated wisdom of the collective unconscious, offering us the perspective and clarity needed to navigate the challenges of the inner journey. The wise old man or wise old woman often appears in dreams and myths as a mentor or guide, providing support and counsel to those on the path of self-discovery. By engaging with these archetypal figures, we tap into the deep well of wisdom that resides within us, allowing it to illuminate our journey and guide us towards the realization of the self. As we reflect on these themes, let us consider the role of ritual and ceremony in the journey towards individuation. Rituals, those structured practices that mark the transitions and milestones of life, serve as powerful tools for engaging with the unconscious. They provide a container for the expression of the symbolic, offering us a means to connect with the deeper layers of the psyche. Through ritual, we create a sacred space for reflection and transformation, a space where we can engage with the archetypes and symbols that guide our journey, whether it be through meditation, art, or communal gatherings. Rituals invite us to step beyond the ordinary and into the realm of the sacred, where the mysteries of the soul are revealed. In closing, I invite you to continue this exploration in your own lives. Reflect on the symbols and archetypes that resonate with your personal journey. Engage with the rituals and practices that connect you to the deeper layers of the psyche. Seek out the wisdom of the wise old man or wise old woman within, and embrace the transformative potential of the journey towards the self. As you do so, may you find the courage to navigate the challenges of the inner journey and the strength to embrace the fullness of your being. May you discover the beauty and complexity of your own psyche, and may you walk the path of individuation with grace and humility. Let us now continue our exploration, for the mysteries of the soul are infinite, and the journey is ever unfolding. As we proceed further into the depths of our exploration, let us now consider the vital role of synchronicity in the unfolding journey towards self-awareness and individuation. Synchronicity, a term I have coined to describe the meaningful coincidences that occur in our lives, is not merely a random intersection of events, but a profound manifestation of the interconnectedness of psyche and cosmos. These occurrences challenge the conventional notions of causality and invite us to consider a more intricate web of relationships that bind the inner and outer worlds. The experience of synchronicity is often a call to awaken to the deeper layers of reality. where the boundaries between the self and the universe blur. It is a moment when the unconscious communicates with the conscious mind through the external world, offering guidance, insight, and confirmation of our path. These moments are imbued with a sense of wonder and mystery as they reveal the hidden patterns that underlie the fabric of existence. To recognize and engage with synchronicity, we must cultivate an attitude of openness and receptivity. This requires us to attune to the subtle cues and symbols that present themselves in our daily lives, to see beyond the surface and into the underlying significance of events. By doing so, we enter into a dialogue with the unconscious, allowing it to guide us towards a more holistic understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. Synchronicity often occurs at pivotal moments in our lives. When we stand at the crossroads or face a significant decision, these moments of transition are ripe with potential for growth and transformation, as they invite us to step beyond the familiar and into the unknown. By paying attention to the synchronistic events that arise, we gain insight into the archetypal forces at play and the direction in which our soul is calling us to move. The interplay between synchronicity and archetypes is a rich area of exploration, as archetypes often serve as the framework through which synchronicity is experienced. Consider the archetype of the hero, whose journey is marked by synchronistic encounters that propel the narrative forward. These encounters serve as catalysts for the hero's transformation, providing the necessary challenges and allies that facilitate growth. Similarly, the archetype of the shadow may manifest through synchronicity, revealing the hidden aspects of the self that require integration. When we encounter synchronistic events that evoke strong emotional reactions, we are often being called to confront the shadow elements within us. By engaging with these events, we gain a deeper understanding of the aspects of ourselves that have been repressed or denied, allowing for greater wholeness and integration. The presence of synchronicity in our lives also invites us to engage with the concept of time in a more nuanced way. Unlike the linear progression of chronological time, synchronicity operates within the realm of kairos, the opportune moment. It is a reminder that there are moments in life when the veil between the conscious and unconscious thins, allowing for a convergence of inner and outer realities. In this convergence, we are offered a glimpse into the eternal now, a space where past, present, and future coalesce into a single moment of insight and meaning. This experience of timelessness invites us to step beyond the constraints of the ego and into the expansive possibilities of the self. It is a reminder that our lives are part of a larger cosmic dance, one in which we are both participants and observers. As we reflect on the role of synchronicity in the journey towards individuation, let us also consider the importance of intuition as a guiding force. Intuition, that inner knowing that transcends rational thought, is a bridge between the conscious and unconscious, offering us access to the wisdom of the deeper self. By cultivating our intuition, we enhance our ability to recognize and interpret the synchronistic events that occur in our lives. Intuition invites us to trust in the wisdom of the unconscious, to listen to the subtle voices that speak to us in moments of silence, and contemplation. It encourages us to embrace the mystery of life, to surrender to the flow of existence, and allow ourselves to be guided by the deeper currents of the psyche. In doing so, we align with the natural rhythms of the universe, allowing for greater harmony and balance in our lives in the spirit of exploration and growth. I invite you to reflect on the synchronistic events that have occurred in your own life. Consider the ways in which these events have shaped your journey and the insights they have revealed. Engage with your intuition, allowing it to guide you towards a deeper understanding of yourself and your path. As we continue this exploration, let us remain open to the mysteries of the soul and the wisdom that resides within. May we find the courage to embrace the challenges of the inner journey and the strength to transform them into opportunities for growth. May we discover the beauty and complexity of our own psyche. And may we walk the path of individuation with grace and humility. Let us now continue our exploration, for the mysteries of the soul are infinite, and the journey is ever unfolding. As we further immerse ourselves in the rich tapestry of the psyche, let us turn our attention to the idea of the persona, that crucial aspect of the self which navigates the interface between the individual and the external world. The persona is the mask we wear, the facade we present to the outside world, shaped by societal expectations and cultural norms. It is a necessary construct allowing us to function within the collective reality and to engage in the social roles that life demands. Yet, it is also a source of potential conflict, for it often obscures the true self, creating a dissonance between who we are and who we appear to be. The persona is, in essence, a compromise between the demands of society and our own individual desires. It is a reflection of the collective consciousness molded by the values and beliefs that prevail in our environment. However, when we become too identified with our persona, we risk losing touch with the deeper layers of the psyche, particularly the shadow aspects that lie beneath the surface. This identification can lead to a sense of alienation, a feeling that we are living inauthentically, disconnected from our true essence. To navigate the complexities of the persona, we must engage in the process of self-examination, a journey into the depths of the unconscious to uncover the truths that lie hidden. This journey requires honesty and courage, a willingness to confront the aspects of ourselves that we have long denied. It is through this confrontation that we begin to dismantle the mask, revealing the authentic self that lies beneath. In this process, the role of the shadow becomes increasingly significant. The shadow represents the parts of ourselves that we have repressed or disowned, often because they do not align with the persona we have constructed. These shadow elements are not inherently negative, but are aspects of the self that have been deemed unacceptable by the conscious mind. They may include emotions such as anger, jealousy, or fear, as well as aspects of our personality that we have suppressed in order to conform to societal norms. The integration of the shadow is a crucial step in the journey towards individuation, for it is through this integration that we achieve wholeness. By acknowledging and embracing the shadow aspects of ourselves, we reclaim the parts of our psyche that have been lost or forgotten. This reclamation allows us to live more authentically to align our outer persona with our inner reality. The process of shadow integration can be facilitated through various means, including dream analysis, creative expression, and therapeutic dialogue. Dreams, in particular, offer a unique window into the unconscious, providing symbolic representations of the shadow elements that seek integration. By engaging with these symbols, we gain insight into the hidden dynamics of our psyche, allowing for greater self-awareness and understanding. Creative expression too serves as a powerful tool for shadow integration. Through art, music, writing, or dance, we give voice to the unexpressed parts of ourselves, allowing them to emerge into consciousness. This creative engagement invites the shadow into the light, transforming it from a source of fear into a wellspring of creativity and insight. Therapeutic dialogue, whether with a trained analyst or within the context of a trusted relationship, provides a space for exploring the shadow and its manifestations in our lives. Through open and honest communication, we begin to dismantle the defenses that have kept the shadow hidden, inviting it into the conversation as a valued part of the self. As we engage in this journey of shadow integration, we are reminded of the interconnectedness of all aspects of the psyche. The persona, the shadow, the anima and animus to the self. These are not separate entities, but intertwined facets of our being, each contributing to the tapestry of the soul. By embracing this interconnectedness, we move towards a more integrated and harmonious self, one that reflects the totality of our experience. In reflecting on these themes, let us consider the role of balance in the journey towards individuation. Balance is the art of maintaining equilibrium between the various aspects of the self, ensuring that no one aspect dominates at the expense of others. It is a dynamic process requiring constant attention and adjustment as we navigate the challenges of life. Balance is achieved through the conscious integration of the unconscious, the harmonization of the opposites within us. It is the process of finding the middle path, the space where light and shadow coexist in harmony. This balance is not a static state, but an ongoing journey, one that requires us to remain open and adaptable, willing to embrace change and transformation. In closing, I invite you to continue this exploration of the persona and shadow in your own lives. Reflect on the masks you wear and the aspects of yourself that remain hidden. Engage with the symbols and expressions that resonate with your journey, allowing them to guide you towards a deeper understanding of yourself and your path. As you do so, may you find the courage to embrace the challenges of the inner journey and the strength to transform them into opportunities for growth. May you discover the beauty and complexity of your own psyche, and may you walk the path of individuation with grace and humility. Let us now continue our exploration, for the mysteries of the soul are infinite, and the journey is ever unfolding